Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Yashodanandana, Jaya Brajajana Ranjana, Jaya Yashodhanandana,
Please, everyone should
Jaya Brajajana Ranjana,
online. Please online.
Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari, Jaya Kunja Bihari,
Please show your shine.
Jaya Tiravana Chari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Yamuna Tiravana Chari, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Radha Madhava, Jaya Kunja Bihari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha, Jaya Girivaradhari, Jaya Girivaradhari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
जय श्री श्री राधा गिरधारी भगवान की जय, श्री श्री राधा नील माधव की जय, जय श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश भगवान की जय, श्री श्री सीताराम लक्ष्मण भक्त हनुमान की जय, श्री श्री गिरि गोवर्धन की जय, श्री श्री लड्डू गोपाल की जय, श्री श्री जय श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा माई की जय, जय श्री श्री निताई गौर चंद्र प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Shri Shri Gauranga ki jai. Jagat Guru Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Mahavishnu Goswamiti Namine. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gaurvani Pracharine. Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatade Sarine. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnana Timirandhasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Daivim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Granthrat Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Nitai Gaur Chandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. So Hare Krishna. Nice to see all of you. All of you doing well. Anybody is not doing well, you can complain to me. Yeah. Not that I can solve your problem, but I can at least hear your problem, you know. Yes? All are happy? Yes? Do you think when you go and do a complaint to Krishna, Krishna will solve your problem or Krishna will hear your problem? What do you think? What do you think, Mukunda? Krishna solves the problem, Krishna hears the problem.
First Krishna hear the problem, then solve the problem.
You think Krishna solves the problem?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Has it happened to you? Has it happened? Krishna solving a problem?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Oh, you're very lucky.
Krishna is like guiding me in the real life problems.
Real life problems. Oh, okay. Very nice. What do you think,
He's
Parth?
showing me the
Good. Very lucky. What do you think, Parth? Krishna solves your problem or Krishna hears your problem? What
Hare
is it?
Krishna Prabhu. I think
You're hiding today. What's the problem?
no.
Late
Actually,
night
my
last night, is it?
no, it's
You're a
fine.
bit drunk or something, you know?
No. So, Prabhuji, I think that
Oh,
Krishna.
there you are. Nice to see you.
I think Krishna, Prabhuji, he does what is best for the person. He does that according to the problem. If the problem is to make the person better, then the problem, it is not a problem. First of all, the problem, what we say, it is a problem. But then again, yeah, if you depend on Krishna, then there is no problem actually.
Sure. You big philosophy answers you guys are giving, you know. What have made you, you know? What have we all made you? We made you philosophers. Huh? That's very good. But remember one thing, unless and until we can see Krishna's hand in our activities, we'll not be able to really progress in our bhakti. I tell you what, philosophy is one part, but when we are fried, you know, when you go fried, you know, fried, you know, samosas. You like samosas to eat? Ever like samosas? Samosas were fried, you know, deep fry. So in bhakti, you have to be deep fried. And if you're not deep fried, till the time Krishna is not much interested in you. But you'll be deep fried if you really want to be deep fried. If Krishna is interested, start preaching. He'll be fried samosa after samosa. He'll become a big samosa. Okay. All right. Very nice. So last week we had a debate, and it was a good debate. Went for a long time. And we had a role play upon is there a next life. Now we'll continue with our discussion, not the debate. Debate is always there with us. Debate always goes hand in hand with me and the role play. So now we are continuing the discussion. So who would like to read, please? Any volunteers? Anandji, you want to read? Okay, all right, good. Please, you can undistinct yourself, please. Very nice. Okay, can you see now? Can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Very nice. Please. We are here. Barbara, Bob's wife.
Barbara, Bob's wife. Can we decide what we want to be next life? Srila Prabhupada. Yes, you can decide. We have decided that next life we are going to Krishna. This is our decision. Back to home, back to Godhead. Suppose you want to become educated. After this decision that you are going to be an engineer or you are going to be a medical practitioner, with that objective, you prepare and educate yourself. Similarly, you can decide what you are going to do next life. But if you don't decide, then the material nature will decide.
Correct? Am I understand this correctly?
Yes.
Okay, so just like when a father will tell the son that listen, or daughter, that you must know what you are going to do after your graduation or in your schooling. You know, either you want to become after school, you want to become a medical line, or commerce line, whatever the line you have. If you don't do this, then automatically whatever percentage of marks you get, you will go. But if you're focused, then you know where you're going. It's very important to remain focused. In Bhagavad Gita also there's a nice verse which talks about that one who is focused, one whose intelligence is very focused, that person will be prosperous, will be successful in coming to me. Because here we're talking about in the next life we go back to Krishna's place, right?
Yes.
Only then, when we are very focused, are we able to do that. A disfocused person, his intelligence is many branched. He may like this also, he may like that also. And this thing doesn't come immediately. It takes time. It takes efforts. Over a period of time, one develops this. Okay, it will not be immediate. So this is the session, 7 to 8 session. This particular class is a beginner's program. Okay, where we clear the concepts. The before class was which is not a concept clearing class. It is normal class, where Bhagavatam class and all that. So you may have questions. So we highly encourage you that you may have questions, and yes, there'll be answer. You can ask the question, ask the questions. That's all right. But this is the class now where you can ask those questions. Okay, right. Please continue.
Barbara, could I have been Krishna conscious in my last life? Srila Prabhupada, it doesn't matter, but you can become. Take advantage of our Krishna consciousness movement. A devotee. She is asking if it was possible that in her last life she was a Krishna devotee and has come back again. Srila Prabhupada. When one is perfectly Krishna's devotee, he does not come back. But if there is a little deficiency, then there is a possibility of coming back. But even though there is a deficiency, he comes back to a nice family. Suchinam Shrimatam Gehe Yoga Bharasto Bhajante Vigyate.
Abhijayate.
Abhijayate. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy.
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, verse 40.
Bhagavad Gita as it is 6.41.
Chapter 6, verse 41. Yeah. Very nice. Please continue.
The unsuccessful yogi takes birth in a religious or aristocratic family. Human intelligence can decide for the future.
Just one second. So this particular point, I want us to understand this concept. Is this clear? Is this concept clear?
Yes.
Clear for you? Okay. All right. I want to be sure. What about you, Divyanshi? Are you clear about this concept?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Very good. Mayuresh? You're there? Must be traveling now. At work or something. Okay. Mukunda, you clear about this concept?
Yes, Prabhuji.
What was spoken before?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So, okay, all right. So in your own words, can all of you may put together, Parth, you understood this concept? Okay, so in your own words, can you explain what has been given, what was spoken by Prabhupada in the verse 641? It's not a test, just want to see whether you understood. Anand ji, आप समझे तो आप बताइए.
हाँ प्रभु जी, मतलब इसमें ये कहा गया है कि अगर कोई व्यक्ति कृष्णा की कॉन्शियसनेस में है तो वो दोबारा से धरती पे जन्म नहीं लेता है, और अगर कोई कमी रह जाती है, परफेक्ट नहीं रहता है उसका मोमेंट, तो वो किसी पायस फैमिली में जन्म लेगा या किसी एरिस्टोक्रेट फैमिली में जन्म लेगा, ताकि वो आगे भक्ति के मार्ग पे और आगे जा सके.
Good point. Very nice. Everybody understood this. So what he's saying is that if an unsuccessful devotee, yogi, bhakti yogi, if he's unsuccessful, that means what? That in this life, he has not become fully Krishna conscious, where he can go back to Godhead, then he has to again come back to the material world. The cycle of birth and death is not finished. But what happens is this, that he is given a chance to be born in higher planets. There's one verse before that. Heavenly planets, upper planets and earth planet. So in the material, in the universe, the earthly planet is in the middle level. Then there are higher planets, then there are lower planets. So depending upon one's karmas, one goes to higher planet or lower planet. Okay. Now, if one has actually has done bhakti yoga, but not been successful, and he should take birth again, still has material desires in the heart, okay, then he will not go to the lower planets, he'll go to the higher planets, okay, heavenly planets. And from there, he will get a chance after that, once he lives for a longer period there, in the Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, and so it's a very long duration of life that they have. And with the long duration of life, after the duration is finished, he will again take birth in the middle level planet, which is like earthly planets. He'll come back to earthly planet, and there, from this point, again, he will get a chance to continue where he left from. You get the point? As compared to that, if a person is not Krishna conscious, maybe a good person, maybe added to higher planets, but again comes down, but again, he may not get a chance to become Krishna conscious, you see? Or one who is not a devotee of Krishna and who falls down, okay, doing wrong things, so he will be born in lower planetary system. And then to come up is very hard. So this is a very tricky situation that we have kept ourselves in. Material world is not easy. Every one of us is held captive. By our own actions, we are held captive. This point we should understand. We cannot blame anybody else for our own captiveness. We have a choice not to remain captive, and we have a choice to remain captive. So when we become Krishna conscious, we choose not to remain captive, although we are being captive. Just like if a person is in a jail, there are some prisoners, who are nice prisoners, so they get some more freedom till the time the jail term is over. After they're over, they don't come back again. As compared to them, there are other prisoners in the jail who are serving the same prison term, but if they are not pious, they'll suffer more. So right now, our position is this, that we are in the jail like everybody else, but we are trying to now rectify our situation so that once we go back, when we come out of the jail, when we die, or in this life itself, why death? When we are alive itself, we can go to Krishna's abode in Vaikuntha. And according to our worship of Krishna, we can go to any of his planets. That is an important thing to understand. The choice is with us. It's a very big science, but the big fight that we have got is with the material scientists who do not have the equipment to go to spiritual planets. So they do not know. So they say there is no spiritual world. So that is the reason why we have to utilize the skills and the experience of our previous acharyas who have gone to spiritual world, and they say, hey, I've gone there, I know how it looks like. And that's why they say, read these books. That's why Krishna is saying, this is my abode. I'll give you experience about my abode, my world. Okay, in simplistic terms. Is this all right? Everybody clear at this point? All right. So let's continue, please. Yes, human existence, intelligence.
Human intelligence can decide for the future. That is human intelligence. The animal cannot decide. We have discriminatory power. If I do this, I will be benefited. If I do that, I will not be benefited. This is there in human life. So you have to use it properly. You should know what is our goal of life and decide in that way. That is human civilization.
Yes.
Barbara, have you seen Krishna? Srila Prabhupada, yes. Barbara, you have. Srila Prabhupada, daily, every moment. Barbara, but not in the material body. Srila Prabhupada, yes, he has no material body. Barbara, well, in the temple, there they have pictures of Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, that is not a material body. If you are seeing materially because you are seeing materially because you have material eyes. Because you have material eyes, you cannot see the spiritual form. Therefore, he kindly appears to be in a material body so that you can see.
Okay, 1 minute. You understand this point?
Yes.
Because Krishna is actually very spiritual. Krishna is completely spiritual. What is his spiritual body made up of? Eternity, knowledge, and bliss. Last week we discussed these three things. Okay, eternity, knowledge, and bliss. So we also have the same body, but minute. But in the material world, our body, which is spiritual, is covered by material body: earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Whereas Krishna's body is not covered by material things. He says in the Bhagavad Gita. Even in the material world, he comes in his own body, spiritual body. Okay? So, because of that, the point that has been raised here is that if he comes in a spiritual body, we cannot see him because we have material eyes. Okay, our spiritual body is limited by the material body that we have got outside. So there are two bodies. There are actually three bodies, but anyway, for understanding the two bodies, spiritual is inside, material body is outside. So because the material body has got limitations, that's why material body decays. Material body has got eyes which we cannot see further. We can only see the colors of 3 or 4: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, and then there's a combination of all those colors. So similarly, the ears can hear only so many things. Human ear can hear certain frequency. Animal ear can hear different frequency than human beings. So sometimes when the frequency change, human will not hear anything, but animal will hear. A dog will hear this. A child will hear it. Okay? All right? So when Krishna comes, when even in material things, we've got a limitation of the body. If we have got a dog body, then we can hear some frequency, which we are not able to hear in a human body. Okay? So with different bodies are different limitations. Now in that, how can we see Krishna who is spiritual? So that is the reason why he agrees. That's why the Vedas it is mentioned that Krishna or any deity, any demigods, even devas, so many devas, the description about how they look like. Okay? And based upon those, how they look like, the deities are made. The deities are not made as per one's whims and fancies. You cannot create something out of your own, speculation. That is not right. So all the 33 million devas and devis, they have a specific deity, and with this description is given. But not of all, but majority of them, or main of them. Okay? So that's why we cannot see Krishna in his spiritual form. So he very mercifully comes in the material form, in the form of wood, stone, soil, sand. So we can see and appreciate. And it is when a pure devotee requests Krishna to come in the deity form, then he comes. Not that you can create a deity and say worship, but just it's an image. We can have that worship also. No doubt about it. You can have that image also and worship that. But especially it is the deity is potent when a pure devotee is requesting Krishna to appear in the deity form and he comes. This is done at the stage where the eyes are open of the deities for the first time. A big ceremony takes place for that. Abhishek and all. That's why he appears like this, for our benefit. Is this okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Parth.
Prabhu, I have a question.
Yes.
Prabhu, when Krishna comes into this world, he has a fully spiritual body, right?
Yes.
And that spiritual body is eternal, right? It does not decay, it does not have a death. All these, he is free from all of that, right?
Yes.
But when he comes and does his pastimes, we see that he grows from a small baby to a man. But a spiritual body is without change. So how that can happen? Like,
No, it's a good question. The reason why this question is that in the Bhagavatam, if you read, it will come at the next stage of realization that Krishna's body is Nava Yavanam, fresh youth. Means from the Kishore stage, okay, he's got into young man stage. It is a young teenager stage. Just before that, just at that stage, that's called Nava Yavanam, and he remains at that stage. So even in the battle of Kurukshetra, Arjuna's age is shown as a superior age, older than Krishna's bodily features. Krishna did not age after that. Although Krishna was a grandfather at Kurukshetra stage. Yeah? But he was still now Yavanam. Do you understand this point? Is this clear? So it changes only to this much. From the boyhood to no Yavanam, and that's it. After that it doesn't change. Deterioration doesn't happen. And this is his form in the spiritual world. As a child also, and as a now Yavanam. So you will never hear about Krishna, old man. You know, Krishna has become old now, and he's got playing with his grandchildren with a stick in his hand. You know, that stories are never there. The pastors are never there in any granthas, any part of the Vedas. This is the point to be understood. So God always is fresh, always young. This is the point. So that's why this thing about, you know, the painting of Michelangelo, you know, with the God and the man touching and the God is shown as an old man, you know. How did he become old man? What is this? Complete speculation. You know, what? God became old. So when did he become old? There's no information. God cannot become old. Even we are not old. That is the reason why this Krishna consciousness movement is meant, this bhakti yoga, the ultimate purpose is to go back to Godhead, yes, but we have to first of all realize our original form in the spiritual world. Now, then we go back to Godhead. So we have a relationship with Krishna, and we have to revive the relationship with Krishna in that form. As we revive, then we are qualified to go back to Godhead. This is a deeper subject, but it's good for information now. This is okay?
oh yes, bro.
Yeah. So even in spirit soul, we are not old. We remain young. Now Yavanam. Okay? Anybody else has anything on this point? We move on. Okay, all right. So let's start. Yes, please continue. Start from here. Because you're materialized.
Yes. Because you have materialized, you cannot see the spiritual form. Therefore, he kindly appears to be in a material body so that you can see. However, because he has kindly made himself just fit for your seeing, that does not mean he has a material body. Suppose the President of the United States kindly comes to your house. That does not mean that his position and your position are the same. It is his kindness. Out of love, he may come to your house, but that does not mean he is on the same level as you. Similarly, because we cannot see Krishna with our present eyes, Krishna therefore appears before us as a painting, as made of stone, as made of wood. And Krishna and is not different from these paintings and wood because everything is Krishna.
Yeah. Please continue.
Barbara, after we die, what happens to our spirit? Srila Prabhupada, you get another body. Barbara, immediately. Srila Prabhupada, yes. Just as when you change your apartment, you fix up your new apartment first. Then you leave this one and go there. Barbara, so do we know what type of body we will get? Srila Prabhupada, yes, provided you are qualified. Otherwise, nature will arrange for it. Those who know, they know that they know what is there. But for those who do not know, nature will arrange things. If you do not know, this means you have not prepared your life. So accidentally, at the time of death, your mentality will create another body, and nature will supply it.
Okay, 1 minute. Is this point clear for everybody, please? Anyone has any questions on this, please?
Hare Krishna. That point that Prabhupada made, the analogy was really nice. I just wanted to point that out about the apartment.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I just wanted to.
So by that, Prabhupada are actually telling her that it takes a little bit of time. It takes about 6 months in earthly times, about 6 months before you get a next body. Because you have to be prepared for that next body, no? Depending upon your consciousness, the life that you have lived, you have to get used to the next body, no? So it takes about that much time, about 6 months. Yeah. Anyone else also, please, or big devotee also, if you have any questions? This point should be clear for us. Absolutely clear for us. Okay. All right. Let's start now. Let's continue.
Barbara and chanting. What does chanting do? Srila Prabhupada. That you can ask these boys, the devotees. They will explain. Bob, if Krishna controls everything, how does Krishna control a non-devotee?
Very good question.
Yes. Srila Prabhupada, by Maya. Just as the government controls everything, a kingdom is controlled by a king's department. Bob, and how does Krishna control a devotee? Srila Prabhupada, just as you control your beloved. For example, if you have a beloved child, you control him for his benefit. If he is going to touch fire, you will immediately tell him, no, no, my dear child, don't touch it. So Krishna conscious person, a devotee is never misled, because Krishna is always guiding him. Whereas those who are not Krishna conscious are in the charge of Maya, and Maya will do the needful. So, as you have seen.
Okay. Just 1 second. Is this point clear for everybody? Okay, I want you to explain to me in your own words this point, please. Anand, you would like to explain, please? You can explain in Hindi, but I need one English explanation also. Yeah, please. Please explain in Hindi.
प्रभु जी, इसमें तो बच्चे का उदाहरण दे करके ये बताया गया है कि अगर हम किसी अपने बच्चे को प्यार करते हैं, बहुत प्यार करते हैं, और वो कुछ गलत करने जा रहा है जिससे कि उसको नुकसान होता है, तो हम तुरंत उसे रोकते हैं. इसी तरह से अगर हम सरेंडर्ड सोल हैं, भगवान को अपना मानते हैं, तो कभी हमसे कोई गलती हो रही है तो भगवान हमको प्रोटेक्शन देंगे, इसी तरीके से हमारी रक्षा करेंगे.
Yeah, very good. And non-devotee का क्या करेंगे? जो भक्त नहीं है उसका क्या करेंगे?
तो भक्त नहीं है, उनको फर्दर गाइडेंस मिलेगा कि वो किसी तरीके से डिवोटी बने.
आंसर दिया था, उसका प्रभुपाद ने आंसर बोला है, जो डिवोटी नहीं होता, those who are not a devotee, who controls them?
माया देवी. माया.
Okay, all right.
उनको माया के चार्ज में रहना पड़ता है, माया देवी उनको कंट्रोल करती है.
That's right. Absolutely right. Okay, thank you. Yes, somebody else, please, in English, please. In your own words, what did you understand about this, what Prabhupada said?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please. What?
Prabhu, apart from what Anandi said,
No, just repeat. I want to hear everything what has been spoken.
Yeah. So basically, that Krishna, it is said that, like the example of the child, and when he goes to touch the fire, Krishna says, "Don't touch it. The fire is hot." At that, what I understood is that Krishna gives. If you're trying to connect with Krishna, if you're trying to practice yoga, then Krishna from within gives you proper knowledge and proper guidance if you're ready to listen for it and if you have the ears for it and the intelligence for it. But even when Krishna gives you the intelligence, you still have the free will to decide whether to put my hand in the fire and burn it, or whether to heed to the instruction and not burn it. So that is what happens to a devotee. And on a non-devotee side, it is not that Krishna does not help, but the non-devotees don't want to listen to him, and they just want to do what they want to do. And just to add to this example, Prabhupada also says somewhere that as you can see two kinds of examples of beating, like a police beating a person, criminal, and a mother beating a child. Both activities are beating, but one is just because the police wants to beat and the other is out of affection, right? So these two can be the mother out of affection to teach the child a lesson, that is Krishna, and this police who's beating just to beat, that is to do their duty, that is Maya. So that is what I understand.
I think it's very good examples. Very nice. Anyone like to say something else, please, on this point? Because there's some bit more which I would like to take a bit deeper, but I want to understand this baseline for everyone. Okay, all right. So what happens is this, that Krishna is the father of everybody. Okay? But at the same time, he's very clever. He is, as a super soul in the heart, constantly talking to everyone. But a bhakti yogi is that person who has spent his time trying to understand Krishna in his different forms of the impersonal form, his existence, then his form as a super soul in the heart of everyone, including one's own self, and third as Bhagavan form, where he is full of opulence with everything. Okay, you can love Krishna as a person in the Bhagavan form, the third form, when he's with full of opulence, with his energies, especially internal energy, Radharani. So, by seeing the loving relationship between Krishna and the gopis and the cowherd boys in Vrindavan, we feel attraction towards that, and we say, hey, I also want to become one of the gopis or gopas there. I also want to go to Vrindavan. This is very nice. This is what happens in the spiritual world. Okay. Now, as a Paramatma stage, the super soul stage is that stage at which Krishna is alone. He is completely Suddha Sattva, without all these energies with him. So the yogis, if you see any yogi meditating, on the super soul, he's meditating upon that super soul part as Paramatma. Then you see Paramatma means what? He is constantly giving information, instruction as a friend. So you can have a relationship with the super soul as a senior who is giving as God, But don't misunderstand. It's not a lower relationship. It is lower in some form, but it is a very high relationship of super soul too. It is Krishna consciousness fully, because you are talking to Krishna. Krishna is talking to you. But at this stage, we are developed in a way that we are listening to Krishna, who's sitting in the heart and talking to us. Okay? And before this stage is that of the Brahma, the state of Parabrahman, the Brahman stage, where the Paramatma stage we have not understood, not reached still, because we cannot accept Krishna as a form. We see Krishna as an energy. And those people who are not devotees of God, they have not trained themselves to either accepting God without form, formless, like the Muslims have, like even followers of Shankaracharya have the same way. Okay. They have not understood, they have not spent time in understanding God as a Paramatma, super soul in the heart, communicating constantly. Super soul is constantly talking to us. You know, we've got gut feeling. People say gut feeling. The gut feeling is super soul talking to us. So whenever we have got super soul talking, you must stop and make a note of that. Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj would say that even if you're crossing a road, you must stop and make a note what has been spoken to us. It will be spoken. All right? It's very important to listen to super soul. And as a Bhagavan stage, we are then understanding his pastimes, what he does in the spiritual world, and then we have a role in the spiritual world which we identify, which we know, and then we can be in the spiritual world with him. But those who are not practicing all these things, who are just being just like that, don't believe in God, atheists and all those things, for them, they do not know what has been spoken to them is coming from super soul or their mind or their intelligence or a ghost or whatever. You know, there was a quote which comes, you know, I don't know what's happening. There are some on my computer, my mind is like the different browsers are open and one browser has got a music running. I don't know where the music is coming from. This is exactly how gross materialists who are not interested in spiritual activities, they are in this situation. Also different grades of it. You know, there's some people who are trying to meditate. They may be a little bit better than others, but speculation comes in. So we cannot speculate at these things. This is real. Whatever I have spoken is real. And you can feel it's real. You talk back. Speaking back. Okay? And it is not, it depends upon our personal surrender and realizations. So do not speculate. Those who are worshippers of impersonalism, they start to speculate. They will say, oh, there's some light there, the frequency is to be tuned. All this nonsense going on, frequency, what frequency, talking, tune, all those things. But this is a difference there. This is how Krishna is reciprocating with his devotees, because he says that after many, many births, one who is in real knowledge surrenders unto me, Krishna says. And that person is very, very rare. So he's very careful about it. Just like if you are an employee, you know, or if you are a father of many children, and there's one child who's very, very dedicated to you, you are equal to everybody. You'll give instructions to everybody nicely. Even in your will, you will give money to everybody equally. But that one child is close to your heart. This child is a devotee, bhakta. Is this okay? More of this would be clear, would become clear as we progress our discussions and you move from these sessions to the intermediate sessions also. It's not easy, but this is what Prabhupada are trying to teach us. And I'm repeating this again. This is real. This is not speculation. It is far out. You may think Super Soul talking to us. Super Soul talks to us every time. But we don't know which of our browsers are open, you know. Our mind is talking, intelligence is talking, Super Soul is talking, this talking, that talking. And then we take mind medicine to go to sleep, have a drink and go to sleep. All right. Should we move on now?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, Avinash.
You have touched a very important point, Prabhu. And when we actually have our classes, this point keeps coming back. And even from part long back, we discussed about free will and desire to enjoy sense gratification. We're mixing it up. And now, since you have touched this gut feeling and the speculation, it's very hard to differentiate between these two, unless, as you said, that you take this, you eat that, you do that, and then you think that you are a thinker also, you're a jnani. And then the speculation comes from realization, depending upon your understanding or knowledge. So being able to differentiate between speculation and the gut feeling, again, it is not for everyone. Okay, you said that when that feeling comes, you are walking on the street. and that feeling comes. So how you actually differentiate that this is gut feeling, super soul talking to us, and speculation is also gut feeling. I feel like this, I realize like this is my understanding. So this is very important to be able to differentiate.
The difference is this: you will say, "I feel like this," and second is, "I know this is." There's a difference. Okay. It doesn't mean somebody has got two horns, he becomes very self-realized and all. Nothing like that. He become very realized, nothing like that. It is a very simple fact. You know, this is how it is. I know. And so I may be like this, maybe it's like, let me think about it, let me speculate about it. You will know the difference between the two. You will know, and know. That's why the best thing to do, a shortcut, is to preach. That's why I tell everybody, we are training you to become preachers. Moment you start to preach, moment you start using your money on other people who are not interested, moment you start to think about other people who are not interested, who may hate you also, okay, you become close to Krishna. Means you will be very protected. Very protected. All of you are protected now? You feel protection in the program? Do you feel protected? Sheltered? Don't just say like this. Tell me if it's true. Yes or no.
Yes, Prabhuji.
You feel sheltered or not? So what have you done to feel sheltered? Mukunda, you were here. You feel sheltered?
Yes, Prabhuji, completely.
Yeah. So why do you feel sheltered?
Because Prabhuji, whatever I am learning here, and when I am applying in my real life, and when I am seeing the result is completely different. So in that way, I feel very sheltered that I am on the right place. And
Okay. Okay. All right. Mayuresh, are you with us?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Tell me, you feel sheltered in the program, although I'm doing online only.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yeah.
So why? What is the shelter? What is the feeling you're getting? Or assurance you're getting?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's a kind of assurance and a kind of protection that.
You feel
Yes,
protected?
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
What is this protection? Tell me.
It's just feeling, Prabhuji, that nothing bad is not going to happen to you. Like.
Very good. Mukunda, you feel
Comes
this?
to you.
Very good. Do you feel this?
yes, Prabhuji.
This is the meaning of sheltered. What you gave an
Okay.
example was to say that knowledge which we are getting, you're implementing in your life, and you're finding it good, as a result. That is good. That's very good. But this is that thing which is shelter, and this is the benefit of following the instructions of Srila Prabhupada through the mode of Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj. The shelter is from there.
Okay,
So
Prabhuji.
at every stage, what I'm trying to say is that every stage one has to be transparent. Now, see, this program is run by us. We are not gurus. We are not qualified to become gurus. 100% not qualified. 1000% not qualified. Okay, we have not realized Krishna. But as much as we are transparent to the message that we have received from our Mahavishnu Goswami Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, as per what Maharaj were transparent, I have heard Maharaj say this, that we just have to be transparent between Krishna and the soul. The moment I add anything, subtract anything, I become, the invisibleness goes away and I become visible. Now I'm upsetting Krishna's mercy. So same Prabhupada's mercy coming through. And Prabhupada, again, his guru. Who's guru? Who's guru? Like this. Okay, and this is through knowledge. There are two kinds of gurus. Diksha which you have to take is, if you want to accept a guru for Diksha, if you want to do deity worship, there's Bhagavad Vidhi and Pancharatrika Vidhi. So Bhagavad Vidhi is through Bhagavatam and the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. So that way one is, to get one guru means to get knowledge. Guru vina gnan nahi. Without knowledge, there is no Guru. You accept Guru to gain knowledge. Prabhupada is giving knowledge straight away to everybody. You see? This is the point to be understood. And at every, you can realize stage, and it is said, Prabhupada says, by chanting holy name, you can go back to Godhead also. Because the holy name will protect you. Holy name will reveal things to you. Your position. You see? This is very important to understand. There is no hodgepodgeness in this. But people make it hodgepodge. Hypocrisy comes in. That's why real devotional service is where you do not involve material things. And when you're preaching, do not involve money. Don't involve money. The days which are going to come now, post-COVID, is very bad. If you have got enough money to preach to one person, preach to one person. If somebody wants to donate something, after a very long time, accept it, no problem at all. But it's very important thing. Don't prematurely accept things from people. They also, donors also have to be very mature people in bhakti too. So preaching is what will make you close to Krishna, because you are doing job. You're doing service, not job, service on behalf of Krishna. To whatever your capacity, you're bringing the jivas back to Krishna. Okay, and don't claim credit for anything. That is very important. You give the credit back to your senior, your guru, who gives you your guru. That's called parampara. The moment you start to say, I've done this, you're finished. You're not transparent anymore. So that's why Bhakti Yoga is a very, very delicate and tough process to follow. Because at no point in time can we be non-transparent. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim. Yeah, I don't want a beautiful woman. I do not want so many followers. I don't want a high birth. And he says that even one should be more tolerant than a tree and humble than a blade of glass. So hard. Impossible. But the trying itself is very great. Is it okay for now? More will be discussed as we grow further in other sessions. All right? Right. Please continue.
Yes, Bob, is it preset when we are born, the time that we will die? Srila Prabhupada, Bob, is the time that I am going to die and others are going to die preset before we are born? When I am born, do I have a certain given lifespan? Srila Prabhupada, yes. A devotee. And we cannot change that. Srila Prabhupada, no, we cannot change it, but Krishna can change it.
This is the point to be understood. And why will Krishna want to change it? When he sees that, okay, if I give a bit more opportunity to this soul, he can come back to me. Yeah? He can change anything if he wants to. Yes, please continue.
Devotee, if he commits suicide, is that also preset? Srila Prabhupada, no, not preset. That you can do because you have a little independence. It is not natural to commit suicide. It is unnatural. So because we have independence, we can go from nature to unnature. A prisoner cannot go out of prison house naturally, but somehow or other he arranges to jump over the wall and goes away.
Prabhuji, there is some noise coming. Are you typing something? Are you putting your hand somewhere?
No, Prabhuji. Yes.
There's some tick, 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 tick coming all the time.
No, Prabhuji. Naturally, the prisoner cannot go out of the prison house. But if somehow or other he manages to escape, that means he becomes again a criminal. He will be arrested again, and this term of imprisonment will be increased, or he will be punished more. So naturally, we cannot violate destiny. But if we do it, then we will suffer. But our destiny will be changed by Krishna when we are Krishna conscious. We do not do it, but Krishna will do it. Krishna says, aham tvam sarvam papebhyo mokshasyami. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Bhagavad Gita as it is 18.66. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. I shall give you protection. That changes that change takes place for my protection. There are two stages, non-devotee and devotee. The non-devotee is under the control of material nature and the devotee is under the direct control of Krishna. In the office of a big man, an executive of a big company, there are many employees and they are controlled by different department superintendents. But although outside of home he controls indirectly, the same man at home is controlling his children directly. But he has always a controller. Similarly, God is the controller always. When one becomes a devotee, he is controlled by God. When he is a when he is a non-devotee, he is controlled by his agent Maya. But he has to be controlled. For example, every citizen of America is controlled by the government. When he is alright, the civil department controls him. When he is not alright, the criminal department controls him. But he cannot say, I am not controlled. That is not possible. Everyone is controlled. If somebody says, I am not controlled, he is not sane. He is crazy. Everyone is controlled. So either you are controlled directly by God or you are controlled by his agency Maya. Being controlled by Maya, you spoil your life. You remain in material existence one birth after another, changing your bodies. But if you choose to be controlled by God, then after this body you go back to home, back to Godhead. Then your life is successful. You cannot exist without being controlled. That is not possible. That is intelligence. And that is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Bahunam janvanam ante jnanvan mam prapadyate. Bhagavad Gita 7.19. After many births of travelling or speculation, one surrenders unto me. Vasudeva Sarvamiti. Krishna, you are everything. So I have come. Accept me. I am now fully surrendered unto you. And you control me. I am controlled. For so long I have been controlled by these rascals. There is no benefit. I have been controlled by my senses. So under the control of these senses, I have served so-called family, society, control, country, nation, up to serving the dogs, but nothing has given me satisfaction. Therefore, now I have good sense. I put myself under your control. Instead of being controlled by dog, let me be controlled by God. This is Krishna consciousness. Have you not seen how a man is controlled by a dog? In the street, the dog stops, passes his stool, and his master will stand and wait. Is it not? He is passing stool and urine, and the master is thinking, I am master. But he is being controlled. That is Maya. He has become servant of the dog. But he is thinking, I am master. So unless one is Krishna conscious, one cannot understand. We can understand that this rascal is being controlled by his dog. But he is thinking that he is the master. We can understand. What do you think? Has he become controlled by the dog?
Just
Wow,
stop.
that is so.
Yes.
Still a Prabhupada. But he is thinking, I am the master of the dog. Sorry. A family man is controlled by his wife, his children, by his servant, by everyone. But he is thinking, I am master. President Nixon is thinking that he is master of his country. But he is controlled. At once he can be dismissed by the public, his servants. And he will take a position claiming, I will give you very good service and I shall be first class servant. Therefore people vote. All right, you become president. And he is advertising, re-elect me, re-elect me. That means he is a servant, but he is thinking, I am master. That is the position, Maya. One who is controlled by Maya is thinking himself master, but he is a servant. And a devotee never thinks to himself, I am master, only I am servant. That is the difference between Maya and reality. He at least knows I am never master. I am always servant. When a servant is thinking I am master, he is called that is called illusion. But when a servant thinks I am a servant, that is not illusion. That is mukti, liberation, because he is not controlled by false thoughts. Try to think about this subject matter. A devotee is never controlled by false thoughts. He knows his position. Swarupen vyavasthita. Vyavasthita.
Vyavasthiti.
Vyavasthiti. Srimad Bhagavatam 2.10.6. The merging of the living entity along with his conditional living tendency with the mystic lying down the Mahavishnu is called the binding of cosmic manifestation. Liberation is a permanent situation of the form of the living entity after he gives up the changeable gross and subtle material bodies. Subtle material bodies. So then these
Mukti.
I am servant. So if I know that I
Again, mukti.
yes, mukti. Liberation means to be situated in one's own constitutional position. I am a servant. So if I know that I am a servant, that is my liberation. And if I think that I am master, that is bondage. This is the difference between conditioned life and liberated life. So these Krishna conscious devotees are always thinking that they are servants of Krishna. Therefore, they all are liberated. They do not endeavor for liberation. They are already liberated.
Just like if you know that who's the boss, and we are surrounded of the boss, that's it. That's a real knowledge. If you do not know that we are surrounded of the boss, then there is bondage. There are so many difficulties. You see, Mahadev will be shackling us all the time. But servant of Krishna, we dedicate ourselves to Krishna, then he takes care of all things. There's a point to understand here. Yeah, please continue.
They are already liberated because they are situated in their constitutional position. They are not artificially thinking, I am master. Otherwise, everyone is thinking, I am master. That is illusion. You cannot be master of any state of your life. You must remain a servant. That is your position. When one thinks artificially that he is master, that is his conditioned life. And when one voluntarily surrenders to the Supreme Master, that is his liberation. A devotee does not try for liberation separately. As soon as he surrenders to Krishna for Krishna's representative, he is liberated.
Okay, we'll stop here now. Stop here now. Thank you. Okay, right. So, just quickly. Everybody understood this points, please? Anyone has any questions so far what we discussed today? No, nobody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes.
Prabhu, there was this incident that happened while Prabhupada was giving an interview. So this one man came and told Prabhupada that Swamiji, you came in my dream last night. And he felt this very strongly, that Swamiji, you came in my dream last night and you ordered me to take LSD to reach to Krishna. And then Prabhupada laughed and he said, no, that was Maya that was Maya, that was not me. But Prabhu, the man had a strong feeling about this, that yes, Prabhupada did instruct me to take these drugs. and this is what I should do, irrespective of what everybody says, because he's a spiritual master and he's advising me to take LSD. That means there is something. So how do we tackle with this problem? Is this the super soul talking, or what? Like,
What-
how do we tackle this issue? Because you also feel this, that you that person felt actually, that Srila Prabhupada actually.
So, what is the question? You don't know the answer?
No, how do we discriminate, Prabhu? These issues are like, because that is what the gut feeling and actually the super soul talking. So these kind of issues can also be there, right?
It's not gut
And
feeling.
how do
It is not at all gut feeling.
it,
He wants to take LSD, and he will take a sanction of Srila Prabhupada. So he had his concoction of Prabhupada coming to him and said, take LSD.
Prabhuji, he must be already under the influence of LSD when he must be dreaming. That's why he must have.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's hallucinating. Yeah.
Hallucinating. You get
Yeah.
all the time. Don't worry about it. As Super Soul will always talk about going to Super Soul, coming to Super Soul. Remember this. Super Soul will not talk about doing anything material. But Super Soul may help you to chalk out a path that you're going to Super Soul becomes easier. So this is all premature things, immature things. We should not be much worried about these things. All these things keep coming, people think and hallucinating and this and that. Take LSD and take sex and all those things, nonsense. Is this all right? Did you get your answer?
Prabhuji, would you please repeat what Super Soul always talk about going to Super Soul?
Yeah, means to become
After that,
devotee of Krishna. Anything without that means there's something else involved. And Super Soul will guide us if we are dedicated to the cause of Krishna consciousness. Then Super Soul will also guide us in material things so that our bhakti is not disturbed. This is all personal experience I'm talking about. I'm not saying that I've got big experience, but yeah, this is what I can tell you with some certain amount of guarantee. Being devotee of Krishna is a very big privilege, So when the time comes to serve Krishna or his devotees, pure devotee, don't stop. Don't think twice. But don't be a fool. You have to be very clear about that. This is again discrimination. Otherwise, you'll be cheated by devotees also, in the garb of devotees, people in garb of devotees. We have seen that also happening. So wherever anyone takes you to Krishna, follow. Simple as that. Anyone takes you to yourself, to themselves, don't follow. That is what Prabhupada did. Prabhupada said, listen, Krishna is God, and you should worship him. You and I also have to worship him. Let's both of us worship together. That's what he did. That's what he preached all the time. He never said, I have worshipped Krishna already, now you worship. Prabhupada never said that. Prabhupada said, you should worship, I'm also worshipping. Let's both of us worship, help each other. Transparent media. Is it okay? So this was before we go to this big philosophy and all that, these things are to be understood very clearly. Yeah. In the same way, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur had a dream of his guru coming to his dream and saying, now take sannyas. Srila Prabhupada having a dream of his guru coming and saying, now take sannyas. Very real dream. So there's a difference between Prabhupada dreaming to say, my guru came and said, take LSD. Dream to say, come and take sannyas so you can, liberate, go and preach. He was preparing, Srila Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj was preparing him to preach to the whole world. So now this remaining thing is over, finish with the family and preach. You're free to go to preach to the whole world. Otherwise you're caught up with the family things. And they were as it is on their own independent anyways. It's not that Prabhupada overnight left them. They were independent anyways. So with their immature things we should not this thing, you know. They said, no, they saw this Sai Baba, when he was a small child, he knew he was God. Right. Good on you, Mike. You follow him. The God has died. In your cricket God of cricket also is crying. Imagine this. What God of cricket he is then? We are laughing, he's crying, you know. No, I'm not laughing, I'm just telling you as a matter of fact how people can be misled. Because they don't want to study. This is the reason why. They don't want to study. You open Bhagavatam, all the incarnations are given. What to look for incarnations are given. The do's and don'ts are given. Follow the instructions. You change your life and you will not be cheated. You will definitely be cheated if you don't read and somebody says, I have read and I'm saying this. So he has read, he is saying this. Such a nice speaker he is. He must be right. Must be. And you go. Cheating. But if you study and this person has studied, he says, I'm studying and this is the way it should go. Your study says, no, this is not the way it should go. In a book it says this way it should go. You see? That is the point. Even in more religion, so many things are happening. So please, Srila Prabhupada's books, original books, Srila Prabhupada's teachings, audio teachings is best. Follow that, do not be cheated. Okay, this is all right. We finished with the discussion. Any questions anyone has got? Okay, wonderful. So thank you very much. Jai. Srila Gurudev ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaurchandra Bhagwan ki Jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is ki Jai. Grantraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai. Nitai Gaurchandra Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Jai.